I'm Courtney from Mirth Films, and I'm here with rapper turned producer Devin B, and we are going to talk all about stuff. How did you get into music to begin with?
Okay, so I would always write.
Yeah.
Like, I liked writing as a kid, so I pretty much did that since, like, 3rd, 4th grade, but a lot of, like, parody stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm more into comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just like math. Like, that was intriguing to me, like, finding the formula to be able to rewrite something. And then I was like, then I became 12, 13, and got all, like, pissy emotional like everyone does. So then I wanted to write real songs. And I would just write on the back of homework and stuff, and then just lose it. But I did, like, the band thing that you do when you're coming up, and I couldn't play anything. I couldn't sing. But I loved writing. And then my friend got me into, like, the Suburb Kid hip-hop starter pack. Like, Aesop Rock.
Yep.
And, like, guys like that. So I started really getting into, like, old school, underground rap. And basically, like anything I do, like, the second I'm interested in it, I just start doing it like I'm supposed to. But immediately I fell in love with it. I would just listen to other people's tracks and just, like, work through it just to get, like, the mouth movement down and, like, the muscle memory and, like feeling how other people rapped. And it just felt like such an expansive world that was, like, bigger than what you could write with, like, traditional music. I got really tired of, like, hearing the words that you could predict. Like, it was so Dr. Seuss, and it felt too formulaic and not free, and I was like, I love just the free thought of rap.
That's awesome. I've never really thought of it like that, like a formula that you can break up. That makes a lot of sense to, like,
it feels like it just feels like an improv scene. It's like, all right, I wrote my first line. It's dope. I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
So now I have to follow it up, and that's all it is. It's just boom, 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 you know.
Did you ever feel like it was like when you would write, like, one line and then you would try to top it, and then it would be like, I can't top it? Or, like, you'd, like, get nervous that you couldn't top something, like, good at the beginning of the song?
Yes, because you want to come off strong, but I used to feel so much pressure that every line had to be better and better. And then I realized, like, you could create little valleys with it. You could come out really, really heavy, but then tuck in and pull people in.
Yeah.
And really get to where you want to be, and then be like, oh shit, like, we're coming to the end of we gotta, like, kind of, like, tuck it up a little bit and make it nice.
Yeah, like beginning, end, like a story, like a beginning, middle, end, like, in a way, kind of, like, reverse story, I guess. Yeah. I
would just boil it down to this specific line. I'm like, am I feeling this? Like, is this real to me?
Yeah.
And if it's not, if I'm just trying to fill the line, I'm like, no. Like, some people say that if you can't write a song in, like, an hour, it's not worth it.
Right.
And I kind of agree. I feel like the stuff you, like, just shotgun out is going to be your best. Like, you can plan, but, it's supposed to be in the moment stuff, right?
If it's planned, it almost sounds like rehearsed. Like, I agree with you in, like, the shotgunning. Like, you need to, like, get it out and, like, just do it, because that's the most real, that's the most authentic thing that you're going to put out there.
Exactly.
So I completely agree with that.
And you can smell it. You can smell when somebody's, like, it's just not authentic, or they're trying to, like, hit a certain process that's not organic to them.
And it just doesn't work, like, at the end of the day. Like, it can, like, work for the charts, but it's not gonna, like, work in the long run.
Yeah, my friend MC Graffiti actually told me, he goes, in the beginning, he was like, I like your stuff, but it sounds like you're reading.
Yeah.
And that exploded my mind on, like, how I listen to music, and whether it's a singer or a rapper. And I'm like, they're not saying it, they're, like, reading it.
Yeah.
But they're not, so.
It's like a script. Like it's, like, scripted almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving through that, like, how you started, like, who were your, and you kind of, like, touched on, like, some of your influences, but who would you say were, like, your biggest influences, and, like, do they still, like, are they
hold
still?
up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I like a lot of the older guys, like, Tame One from the Artifacts, like an old early Jersey dude. This guy actually influenced the way like Redman writes. So that got really deep in my veins of like how I interpret stuff, because he had a lot of character.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much my biggest. I want your character, and then I want your talent second, which is why Biggie's probably my favorite rapper. I know that's cliche, but his manipulation of the words and his like ability to like get out exactly what he wanted to meant everything to me. So early guys like Digging in the Crates, Lord Finesse. The new guys I can't, like 2000s I could. I was huge into like the Def Joke scene. Not really like rhyme sayers or any of that. It was like too poetic for me.
Yeah.
Like I know rap's poetry, but save it.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, just a lot of like the early guys, like what you would call more golden era or Backpack. But the only new people I like now is Vince Staples.
I love Vince Staples. Yeah.
It's a short list. Like I can't come up with
no.
another one. I kind of like ASAP Rocky, but
I think definitely that there is a shift and a huge difference between like stuff that you mentioned and like now and like even 2000s and now, and it's definitely big. So I can understand kind of where that comes from or where you're coming from with that. So
it's punk rock.
Yeah.
That's all we are right now.
Yeah.
It's the words don't matter. It's the feeling.
Yeah.
We're in a punk stage, and like that kind of like allowed me to cool off on the judgment.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of why I'm not interested in rapping anymore.
So let's talk about that. Like, how did you decide that you wanted to like stop rapping and just produce full time? What sparked that with you?
The payoff wasn't the same.
Right.
Like I started getting really angry during live sets. I started doing like the golden rule, like don't yell at the audience. And I've done countless shows, and I'm finding myself talking shit to the venue, the booker. It was ugly. It was like watching a magician who was just over it.
Yeah.
Like the floundering magician, and I could see myself in third person, and I was just disgusted with it. And coming off stage, or like to me, I love writing, recording, and all that, but the end goal is performing. That's my favorite. But I'd come off stage, and it felt like you had like empty sex, because I'd come off stage and for a whole week I would feel like I had good sex, and I would come off stage and the second I was done, it was nothing. I felt nothing.
Yeah.
No immediacy to want to do it again.
Right.
And every time I did like my last 12 shows, I was like, if I never do this again, I don't care.
Right.
So, because I fell in love with producing, honestly.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do what you're comfortable with.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not supposed to be out there just, it's like a job you hate at that point. It's like a job you like wake up and you go. It's like not your dream anymore, and it sucks. It sucks when you realize that.
Exactly.
So when you realize that like you love something else, it's like related because you can still. It's like writing. You can arrange.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your production process. How do you start?
Okay. Well, all my previous music and my rap and stuff, much to my fault actually, is just strictly like an ode to depression. Mm-hmm. I wish I could write about other stuff, but it's the only driving force to create. So when I produce, it's the same thing. It's very dark, but like I want heavy and dark.
Yeah.
So basically what I produce is, it's called Wave, and it's a subset of trap essentially, but it's just thick reverb, almost constant low end bass, and it just immerses you. Like before I knew what it was or what I wanted, like I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I'd call it 3 a.m. And it was just that feeling of driving alone at 3 a.m. just being bare, and I wanted to make that kind of sound. And I really got into the knife years ago.
I love the Knife.
Right.
Yeah, they're dope.
And I wanted to do a hip hop version of the Knife.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm trying to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I want to make very heavy, emotional, trap-ish, and I hate saying that, but
Yeah.
so I just sit down and I'll start I don't really have a process, but I almost always start with low end and
Okay.
just that's my bass, my main melody, and everything else can come off of it, because if it's the low end, it's the foundation. So like I don't care. People tell you make the melodies first. I don't want to do that. I
Right.
just want to get that core of what you're gonna feel.
That's a really, really good way to put it. I think that's like when I do anything artistic, it definitely has to come from like a feeling I want other people to feel. So like structure wise doesn't really matter to me as long as the end result is listenable. You know what I mean?
I'm spitting. So sorry.
Dude, I'm like dripping sweat, so you're good.
My favorite band is Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's since I was like 14. That's it. So like if you listen to some of my production,
Yeah.
it's like real Bill Wardy. Like give me more bass, give me more kicks. Like I want heavy.
Yeah.
Other influences. I love Portuguese music.
Okay.
I've been into that for like 6 years, and like not in a hipster way.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
Yeah.
And the cardinal sin of what I'm about to say is gonna like piss people off, but I don't really listen to music anymore that's like 20% of what I listen to.
Mhm.
I'm a big like comedy nerd
Okay.
and like true crime. You know,
Oh yeah.
that's
Hell yeah.
so. When I listen to music, I get really frustrated because either they're doing something and I'm hearing something I should be doing at that moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at work. I want to be home making stuff.
Exactly.
Or the vocals, like I'm kind of perceptive to stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get off on an empathy thing, but like
Yeah.
it works. Like the lyrics work on me and they'll affect me. So I choose to listen to music with nothing.
Yeah.
Like new age classical music,
Yeah. Like
basically.
yeah, like music that doesn't make you emote. Like and like I
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm good on feeling.
yeah,
Like,
like thanks.
feel-
Like I'm okay. Like I could go the rest of the day without feeling this, but then you get yourself in a hole and you're like, okay, well let me go to my sad playlist and let me listen to every song that makes me feel bad now. And then you get into like
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it'll bring you up. It's
Yeah.
the relation.
Yeah.
It's when you're like so down and somebody's like, me too, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like that they don't give you too much, like, but you don't want too much.
Right.
And they're just like, I get it.
You can like commiserate with them. Like through
Yeah.
almost. No, I totally that sometimes it's just better to listen to things that make you feel a certain way that isn't depending on the situation, you know, depending where you are. Like if you're at work, like I know the feeling like of like sitting there and like listening to something that makes you feel something and then you're like, good on that right now. There's people around, like I don't want to deal with this.
Yep.
So who are comedically, like who are you like into? Like comedian wise?
I'm really into stand up, like Todd Barry, Todd Glass, Attell, guys like that.
Yeah, there's also
But I'm like a sucker for improv.
Yeah.
I love improv, like UCB stuff. And the beauty of the internet is like there's just hours and hours and hours and hours of improvised comedy, which is great because it's theater of the mind.
Mhm.
You can get lost. And I'd rather be laughing, honestly. Like,
for sure.
you know, if I had to like bring one thing to an island, like podcasts or music, like I'm probably gonna bring podcasts, and
Right.
because there's more of a human relation, which
Right.
is, I don't know.
And if you're on an island, you want to be, and you're like alone.
Yeah, you want to listen to people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
No,
gonna,
that definitely makes more sense. Definitely, I could see that. And like, what podcast are you listening to right now?
Oh, I'm like big on Last Podcast.
Okay.
Monstro. That's cool because that like they kind of like speak from the character.
Yeah.
But it's all. Anyone watching this is waiting for me to say this. Basically, all I watch is Forensic Files. It's like, I'm a sucker. Like I can't. You'd be disgusted if you knew how many hours of Forensic Files I've watched. Like I'm competing with like 50-year-old women that watch the ID channel right now. Like we're like neck and neck, and I'm like, I think I'm winning. They got years on me, but I think I'm catching up.
They take breaks to go to brunch and whatever, and you're just like.
And I'm like, no, I'm working through lunch.
Yeah.
No, that's like, it's fucked up. But I'm like, well, I'm safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
No.
like, me in my air-conditioned room, I'm nice and safe. People are getting murdered out there, and you know.
It kind of like I can relate true crime like my shit. Like I watch it all the time. Like when I have to pick like what am I gonna watch before I go to bed, it's murder show or food show, like something like yeah. I don't know why. Like
people go, won't that give you bad dreams? And you're like, I'm broken.
I already have bad dreams. Like like I'm already waking up with no closure, dude. Like I'm whatever. Yeah. So like I'll like I don't know like I really like stuff about. I guess like serial killers, like really, I don't know, like
I'm into that too because it's not supposed to happen.
No, exactly,
That's
it really
why.
isn't. Yeah,
every day people go around living and not killing people, and then it's just like a glitch in humanity.
It's like this glitch in the simulation. Like somebody's wired wrong, and then,
it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's just like a complete anomaly.
Yeah,
you know,
it's definitely. I like the true crime podcast too. You ever listen to Disgraceland? It's like.
I've heard of it.
It's like a true crime. That? It's like true crime and music together, and it's like this. It's like one narrator, and he tells the whole. Like he'll do like different episodes based on the person. So like, I listened to one about like Big Lurch, like who was like rapper cannibal, like rapper turned.
Oh, Big Lurch, yeah, he got like on Dust, right?
Yeah,
like, sorry, he did like a bunch of PCP and like
went fucking nuts, and then they had like obviously like Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain, Sid Vicious. Like all sorts of
the whole suicide thing.
Every like I'm trying to think of like more that I can't get them like off. Oh, James Brown, when James Brown like went like did like a bunch of I want to say it was meth or crack. He did
for what the 70s and 80s, right?
Yeah.
For like those 2 decades.
Yeah, for the whole the whole time. And then he just like went nuts and he like went to his office like with a gun or like whatever. It was like insane.
Oh, yeah.
It like isolates like specific incidences. Like they had one about Snoop Dogg doing like how he was like a pimp like after he was a rapper and stuff. It's super interesting.
That was real?
Yeah, apparently.
I swear I thought that was a phase because I always like thought it was funny. I'm like, after like 5 years, everyone just pretended they were gonna be pimps.
No, apparently he really was a pimp. Like after, I don't know. So, but now he like makes shit with Martha Stewart. So I guess like.
But that's okay. If I don't know, I'm not gonna get into it. But if Snoop Dogg really did kill that person back in like '92 or
that's
whatever,
what it's about too. It's about
If he really did, he's doing like what every other politician does, where like Bush and not Cheney, but you take these monsters and you slap like 15 years on them and you're like, look, he paints now.
Yeah.
He's like, he's a painter.
He paints really bad dogs. Like, look at him messing with his poncho at the inauguration.
They make them like cute and dumb and soft.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know.
And like they like have funny takes and like you're like, oh, they're not so bad, and then you're like, no, they really are. Like, look at this laundry list of shit.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
The thing is,
now?
We will be long dead and gone before Snoop Dogg is uncool. Snoop Dogg is like gonna be eternally cool forever.
My mom loves Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Once like white mothers start it's over. They never let go.
No.
They're still doing Live, Laugh, Love, and that's like 20 years old. I don't know.
That's very true. My dad has like a Live, Laugh, Love in his house. I'm like, homie, like, are you like?
My mother puts it out of order, and out of spite, every time I'm over there, I switch it. It's like Live, Love, Laugh, and I'm like, no.
It is not. No, it is Live, Laugh, Love.
It's Live, Laugh, Love. And I'm like,
we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right.
But she's insisting. She's like, I think they got it wrong somewhere. They're switching around. I don't know.
Oh, where were we? I don't even.
We were talking about. We were initially talking about music and then podcasts.
Would you ever want to do a podcast? Like, do you think that like that's in the future? Or do you do a podcast? I should, yeah.
50-50 because I've been dying to get into engineering podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to do that for a living.
That's a dope career choice.
It's an online thing.
Yeah.
I want to just do a bunch for free, get my shit up.
Yeah.
And then just send out, it's all internet based,
Yeah.
so who cares? And it's something you can do at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I am making one with my friend Kyle Showen. Kyle Showen, he's got the best stories I've ever heard in my life. And he delivers them, like, flawlessly.
Yeah.
Like, he was telling us, I can't even go into it, the story last night, but I'm going to do a podcast with him.
Yeah.
And we're going to call it Show and Tell.
Oh, that's a dope name.
And,
that's dope.
yeah. And we're just going to, I have different questions like first fist fight, first time having sex, worst Christmas. So we want to cover stuff like that.
The first and the worst.
The first and the worst.
First and the worst.
And just let them go.
Yeah. I feel like you give somebody like I know somebody that like I used to work in a kitchen, and so like we knew these two people that were like we should just give them a topic and just record them talking, like one word out of a hat, go, like
yeah, and
go.
it's just solid. It's
yeah.
gold.
Exactly. No, that's
You're riveted. You're like, I've listened to a story for a half an hour.
Yeah.
You're like, I would have paid for this.
Yeah, that's what I liked. That's why I like Harmontown and like listening to like
Yep.
Dan Harmon and like Dino Stamatopoulos, like specifically when he's on there is like hilarious. So I always like listen to him. He has his own podcast with Andy Dick, which I listen to.
Oh, I gotta get into that.
It is.
I love Andy Dick.
Me too. I love Andy Dick too. And like I texted my best friend the other day and I was like, dude, I think I have a mild obsession with Andy Dick, and she was like, can you please explain what you're talking about? I'm like, no, like
You get it or you don't.
you either get it or you don't.
He's infectious because at first you're like, what a nightmare mess.
Yeah.
But then you go like, oh, Andy's going through some shit
Yeah.
for the last 30 years. You're like,
literally his like he's like 50 something, so it's like more than half his life he's been going through some shit, like for real. But that one's good. It's called Skull Juice. I don't know if they still make episodes, but that one's really good. What else? What other? I think those are like my two favorites that I like listen to. Like,
you'll listen to like every episode.
Yeah.
Burn out.
Yeah, and then you go back like.
And you're like, what do I got? Oh, that.
Yeah.
Is there anything more depressing than re-listening?
Yeah,
to
no.
certain...
Oh, no, because, like, some of them are, like you re-listen and you're like, I know this story. I know what's coming.
Like,
I'm going to laugh
what
anyway.
cycle am I living in? Like, this non-ending circle.
So, would you say that, like, producing, like, engineering podcasts and producing are kind of similar, but they're not the same animal? So, like, what do you like about, like, both? Like if you had to make a Venn diagram, like, what would you do for those? If that makes sense.
Sounds nice. I just
yeah.
like, I like music, so
Yeah.
I want to make good, clean sounding music.
Right.
And I like podcasts, so I feel like if it's clean, the cleaner it is, like the better it'll come across.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If I could, I would just probably mix podcasts for a living.
Okay.
Like, I would love to not have to leave my house.
Me
That'd
too.
be really cool.
Me too. I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you working on right now?
I'm ramping up to like put out my first production project. Like, I'm pretty like level-headed of where I'm at with it. Like, I'm not getting ahead of myself. I know I got a lot of stuff to do, but I have a little bit of a plan.
Yeah.
I have the material I want, and I'm gonna just kind of isolate that and close that off.
Okay.
And I don't have too much free time, but when I do, I just want to keep like making more.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm gonna work on a small EP, like 8 tracks, and just put it out there. Like, it can always be better.
Yeah.
It can always be better quality, better this, better that, but just put it out.
Because if you think of it that way, you're never gonna release it. Like,
It'll never.
there's an ending point, and you have to like hit that ending point and just close it, because if not, it's just gonna sit there. Yeah.
You hear artists that do that, they're like, it's not ready, it's not ready, it's not ready, then it's like,
It's never gonna be.
it never will be that.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, there's
Like,
definitely.
you can't put the cart before
Exactly.
the horse, you know.
Yeah.
Don't think of the album cover before you've recorded the songs.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. unless you have a specific feel, then you can kind of like do like little doodles. But that's coming from the graphic designer.
I got
in me.
you.
That's coming from like the graphic designer in me. Like when you're like, oh, okay, can you do the cover for this and this is what I want? And I was like, yes, I know exactly. Like
you nailed my cover though. That I was like so happy with that. That came out beautifully.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But so let's see. Talked a lot about like we've gone on a lot of tangents, which is cool, which I'm happy with. Yeah, no, I feel like it all relates back to what we're talking about. Is there anything you want to like plug? Anything you want to talk about? Anything that you got going on that you, other than like anything at all? Like it can be the podcast. It can be.
Yeah. See, this is where we're gonna have to do a little bit of an edit because I need to think.
Absolutely, that's fine.
Who am I gonna call out? Which friends am I? Little plug. This is the part I'm horrible at. Little plug. You know what? We're gonna keep it real simple.
Yeah.
Devin B. Devin B. Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your music, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. I want people to listen to it.
Yeah.
I like.
For sure.
Even if it's like 2%, I want somebody to listen to it, feel the way I felt when I wrote it, which is all any artist should want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check out my Spotify, Apple, and follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of dumb stuff on Instagram.
Your Instagram is one of my favorites. It really is. I've been like that. Your stories make my day. Like I'll be like, like look at what Devin posted. Like even people that like don't know you, like who? I'm like, just look at it. Like,
yeah. No, I mean follow me. That's DEVIN BPM, which is Devin B at night essentially in BPMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So what is your next big goal as a producer?
I want to take my style and inject that into production for other people.
Okay.
I want to remix your song. I want to ask you to make a beat for you. That seems so fun. Like being a rapper and having producer friends, and I want to do what other people have done to me. I've had a lot of really good friends make me beats that I'm so happy that not only do I love them, but I'm friends with them, and I would love to do that for somebody else.
That's awesome. It's like commissions. Like you're like, oh, let me do this for you. Let's give me an idea and let me like turn it into something sonically. Like that's
exactly.
That's dope.
I want to dedicate some time to make something with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not in a band. I can't play bass. I can't do it at the same time. But like, send me something, please.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about?
I want to say, Mirth Films, Courtney, thank you very much. This has been fun, cool.
Yes, this has been awesome.
I didn't shit my pants the whole time. I peed a little bit.